Okay.
Okay.
So this is the display. It's really just an interface for the user. The brains of the machine is actually down here in the wall.
Okay.
This is where the controller is to know how to operate it, and it's where the sensors are to know what the room is doing.
Okay.
The interface, any time that it is off, there is a little button on the right hand side. It's the first closest button. There's two buttons here, but it's the closest one to the outside and it's smaller.
Okay.
If you hold this button for about 10 seconds until you see the screen become active.
Is that active?
Yep. If you see the screen doing anything, that'll mean that it's booting up. And when the screen boots up, you'll see it go through a couple different screens like this one. But we just want to wait because the panel, our software it's just working. It's getting to the point where it gets to the panel we want it. So we just don't touch it. Once we see the screen active, we just let it go. And it'll take, as you'll see, I don't know, a couple, maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay. And it does reboot every day at 12 o'clock.
Yep, noon. It will reboot every day. And that is just to send us software updates, or it gives it a rebirth, I guess. You know, reboot just kind of straightens it all out.
It's what we all need every day.
Yeah, if we could all get it.
So that's our elevation up here right now.
Yep.
What's coming up.
Through the algorithm based on, you know, what O2 it's reading.
Okay.
This is what the elevation, it may not be exact to what you see because it does take, this number does take in to account the pressure, the O2, the CO2, and it has it all in an algorithm. So, but it should be close. It should always be close. You see how it varies, and that is because of the pressure differential. There's pressure sensors that the pressure is always varying, so it's always kind of adjusting. But yeah, you're correct. This is the number that is representative of the room. This other number to the left is the set point, and the set point is adjusted by doing minuses or pluses. And when you get the set point to what you like it to, just push the little red button to confirm. Okay. And so you'll see that I put it all the way down to 60, but it's going to adjust back to 23.7. The reason that it adjusts back is because we technically can't over oxygenate the room.
Got it.
It only lets us put a certain amount of oxygen. The fire department really just only lets us put a certain amount of oxygen in it. These buttons over here to the left are important. The run button is obviously, I want the system to run. Eco will do the same thing. It's the exact same thing as run, so mostly just avoid eco. Standby is important because standby keeps the brains warm over here in the wall. All the sensors and stuff. If you go to off, it will shut up everything down and it will all just go to sleep. So if you're here and you want to run it each night, you just go run, standby, run, standby, run, standby. When you leave for 2 weeks or a week or longer or several days even, then maybe we switch it to off.
Okay.
Even if it stays on standby that whole time, it will be fine. But if it's for a long duration, we go to off.
Okay, so while they're here for a week, what do they need to do? Keep it and run?
Let me show you.
Okay.
Let me show you their options. So one option is obviously every day you can switch it. When you want to go to bed, you switch it to run. When you wake up, you switch it to standby. That's one option. The other option, which I recommend, is that we set up timers.
Oh,
And this option will, this will allow us to just let it run automatically. And then all you have to remember is shut the doors. And when you leave, you have to do a couple of buttons to get it to make sure it's not going to run while you're not here. So these are the timers. And the way to set the timers up is we say what elevation we want to go to. We'll just say we want to go all the way down to 0. We want the system to run all days, and we're going to turn it on at 7 p.m.
okay.
And we say enter values. And you should see it populate on the right-hand side.
Okay.
So 7 o'clock, we're going to run. And then we're going to say we'll say 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. Yeah, well, or the
Make it
early
8.
riser.
Make
8
it
a.m. 8 a.m. We're going to go to standby. All days, 8 a.m. enter values. And it'll populate on the left. So it'll run at 7. It'll stand by at 8 a.m. Close and save. And then the next important piece is we set up the timers, but now we have to activate the timers. So we hit this button and we'll see it says timer is active.
Okay.
So now all we have to remember to do is shut the doors at 7 p.m. and your room will start to oxygenate by 10:30, maybe 11:30, should be fully oxygenated.
Okay, one question.
Mm-hmm.
If they wanted to come in here in the afternoon and have a nap with oxygen, they should start it up.
Yep, no problem.
You go to detail.
You just go to this detailed screen, hit run.
That's all.
That's it.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah. Now, important part about the timers is that when they're not here anymore or when they're leaving,
Turn it off.
we have to inactivate the timer with this button.
Got it.
And that button's also, when it's active, it's on this screen as well. But we have to turn the timer off and go to off.
Okay.
So pretty simple. So another thing is, I'll put a piece of tape, but there's 2 little lights back here. I'll put tape over those to make sure they don't see that. And then the screensaver, I'm going to keep it active, but if you ever see that the screen's not going dark, this screensaver button might need pushed.
Got it. So when it's active, it will cut off. And yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm going to leave it active, but
Yes.
another indicator is this little light, but we'll leave that on. And that is the basic operation. There is some more depth we can go into, but I like to start slow, and so I would probably leave it at that.